What's up, guys? Today's video is kind of different. You know, we're trying to dabble into all kinds of stuff on this channel now. I am doing a meal kit review, and not like icon meals, like certain meals, like a meal kit, kind of like your HelloFresh, or I don't know, there's a ton of them now. Nonetheless, we chose Dinnerly, and I chose Dinnerly because Dinnerly claims that they are the cheapest per meal. Each box only costs, when I looked it up, I want to say each meal is about $4 to $5, whereas your HelloFresh or like Sunbasket or Blue Apron or anything like that are normally like $12 per meal per person. And frankly, if I'm paying that much to cook it at home, I can go to like my local, I don't know, Chili's or Applebee's or whatever and just buy dinner. So I will say, when we first got the box, there was a little bit of user error. It arrived at a time and we weren't home, and it sat outside in like the humidity all day, and it was 90 degrees. So when you did open it, some of the fresh produce was not up to par. But I think that was our fault and not Dinnerly's fault. So I'm going to say that. And then you'll see we cook all the meals through this. In the second meal I make, somehow my camera just like pooped out, and I didn't get all the footage, but I do a voiceover and talk about everything, so you don't really miss anything. We decided that we liked it so much that we are getting another box. Typically, I'm very not like meal kit, meal prep kind of boxes delivered to me, because like I like to cook and all that kind of stuff. But it is just like we have some personal stuff going on, some changes. I'm going back to work, and to kind of like ease us back into the regular flow of life, I'm okay paying for the convenience of it. And I do like these kind of boxes because, like I mentioned, I like to cook. But I'm getting home, you know, at like 7 p.m. and all the meals only take like 20 to 30 minutes to cook. They're simple, super simple. David can easily cook these if he wanted to. And I like these kind of kits because they make you kind of do things that you typically wouldn't make. You'll see, like, I make pork schnitzel with this box, and like, sure, I could make pork schnitzel regularly, but I wouldn't. And the Chinese dish we make, and even the ravioli, the sauce has things that I typically wouldn't do. So I like the variety of being able to try different things, but it still being easy, it just being delivered. The meals were all delicious. I'm not gonna say too much. I should stop talking because I will talk forever. But let's just get into the footage, and I hope you enjoy it. Also, I will say, don't tune out just because you're like, well, I don't get Dinnerly, blah, blah, blah. I tell you all the ingredients and all that kind of stuff, so you could just like cook it on your own. And they're super simple and super yummy. So check it out. What's up, you guys? Today we're making our first meal out of the Dinnerly meal kit service kind of thing. And it is beef and broccoli chow fun. I don't know if I'm just like uncultured. I don't know if it's always called chow fun or if like I know it of something else. Nonetheless, we're gonna eat it. It's pretty basic. There's only a few simple ingredients. Literally, it's just this ground beef, this broccoli, which, guys, first of all, who eats just this much broccoli? I mean, for two of us, I don't know. Nonetheless, I digress. We have these stir-fry noodles. A little packet of teriyaki sauce. They call it chili sauce, y'all, but it is literally sriracha. These two little things. A red onion, which my husband, I'm gonna keep this, like, I'm gonna cut it up but keep it in big chunks because my husband is picky and doesn't like onions, but he likes the flavor, so I'm gonna keep it big enough so he can like just pick it out. And some garlic. And then the household items that you have to have are salt, pepper, oil, and sugar. So the only thing I've done so far is get in on a pot of salty water for the noodles, and that's it. Let's do it. All right, guys, so here you see me just chopping up some fresh garlic, getting it out of the skins here. This meal, I will say, again, was super duper easy to make. I don't know why that's so surprising to me. But it literally only took about 20 minutes to make, which literally, how many times am I going to say literally? The longest thing was putting the water on to boil, and the amount of time it took the water to boil and chop everything up, like everything was done by the time the noodles were done. So that was pretty cool. Here I am, you can see, getting my onion ready, doing the whole onion. Like I said, my husband does not like onions at all, but during this whole meal, guys, he ate the onion, and sometimes he just confuses me, you know? Yeah, he's weird, I'm weird, it's okay. Chopping up some broccoli now. This broccoli, when we got it, again, I think it was like user error. It was a little, like, not super green, but it ended up tasting fine, so whatever. I don't know. You saw me put the oil in the pan to get that heated up a little bit. Little teriyaki sauce in the bowl. You don't see me. I just added some sugar to it, just about a tablespoon or so. Now I'm cutting the sriracha and putting it in the hot oil. And I will say that I will definitely use this in the future because you just infuse the oil with the sriracha chili sauce. And you'll see me throw in about half of the garlic, maybe in a minute. Yep, half of the garlic there in a minute it becomes this like spicy garlic chili oil, and then you put that all over the noodles, and it was so good. And it's just a way to like kind of make your own flavored oil, and it was super easy to do. Totally a fan of it. Getting that ground beef cut, getting that going. You can see my water's kind of boiling already a little bit. Throwing the garlic in with the beef, chopping up the onions, cooking that with the garlic and the beef to get all the flavors grooving around in there. Chop, 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 cut, cut, cut. So many utensils. And I will say, surprisingly, everything was easy cleanup too. Like I didn't have to use a ton of separate like bowls and all that kind of stuff. Just a quick blanch of the broccoli, seasoning the meat as it's cooking. Easy stuff. I swear this is the longest thing in this cooking segment is me just literally standing there breaking up the ground meat. It's so boring. I'm sorry. I don't know how to like edit videos properly to trim this down. I'm getting better though. I promise. I swear. So just kind of cleaning up my working area, waiting on the broccoli, blanching it for about 2 minutes there. So it still stays nice and crisp, but is kind of cooked. Taking that out of the salty boiling water. Again, obviously, here I am, chop, 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 spinning the ground beef and all that kind of stuff. Okay, this is where they told me the directions said to cook the noodles whole, drain them, and then take a kitchen scissors and cut them in half after they're cooked. And I was like, why? No, I'm not doing that. So I just broke them in half before I cooked them so I didn't have to deal with. I just thought that was easier. I don't know. It just seems weird cutting the cooked noodles to me. These noodles too, and I said before, they're called, the package said stir fry noodles. David later says they're rice noodles, but I think they're like glass noodles. I don't know if they're all the same. If someone knows, leave me a comment because I'm not entirely sure. So the noodles cook, for just about 7 to 8 minutes, and then you run them under cold water, and then you just add literally everything to the pan. And so you have your meat, your broccoli, all of your sauces, your noodles, and then I took a little tiny bit of, you can see in the corner there, the water that I cooked the noodles in, and just put it in there. If it's a little too thick, and you kind of just stir that together for a minute or two. All right, and yeah. Food, plated. 'Tis what it looks like. Before you taste it, what are your first thoughts?
There's a lot of onions, which I don't like.
We talked about this.
Yeah. Other than that, it looks really good.
It's a lot more food than what I thought it was going to be.
Agreed. We were both looking at the caloric thing, and we're like, that's not what I saw. I'm even going to eat an onion and a piece
You're going to eat an... Well, if you don't like onions, you're not going to like it then.
Yeah. This is pretty good.
Yeah?
I like it.
I'm not used to these noodles.
No, the rice noodles, they're a little like...
But they're good.
And the
Taste the
seasoning.
broccoli. Did you taste the broccoli?
I did. I got a bite of everything in that one bite. Broccoli's good.
Which I was worried about because it looked
not as fresh.
not great. But yes, recommended. Don't have to get dinner early to make it. I told you the ingredients. You can make it yourself. Took like.
But.
How long were you gone?
20 minutes.
20 minutes. Less than 20 minutes to make. Not
Sounds
too
good.
shabby. Cool. We're gonna go eat this now. All right, guys. Dinnerly. Day 2. We are eating ravioli because who doesn't love ravioli? Pasta 2 days in a row. Living our best life, right? So pretty standard fare, right? We have the bag of ravioli, which again I'm gonna say doesn't look like a lot to me, but you know, we'll see how that goes out. Very simple stuff. More garlic, parsley, this little tiny block of Parmesan, some Kalamata olives, and these 2 tomatoes, which are supposed to make a fresh tomato sauce. About 1 cup of them, and I find that hard to believe too, but here we go. And on the side, you'll see, because I also don't think this is a lot of ravioli, and bought more, which I guess defeats the whole purpose of dinner box like this, but nonetheless, my stepson's gonna eat this too, with some just regular sauce. So we'll have this just in case, if, you know, whatever. Let's do it. All right, so same deal as yesterday, getting the pots of water, salty water in to boil, chopping more garlic. I feel like that's the story of my life. In all these videos, all I'm doing is chopping garlic, and it's so exciting for you to watch, I am sure. I lose some footage in this recipe video just because my camera crapped out. So it's not too complicated though. So it's ravioli and some sauce, right? How hard is it? This sauce ended up a lot more salty than what I wanted, I think because of the olives and the Parmesan. So if you make something like this, I wouldn't salt it until the very end, until you taste everything. This sauce, it also, like, it was good, right? But I'm not a fan of, like, thin spaghetti sauce. Like, I like a thicker sauce that doesn't run off of my noodles. Like, it tasted good. It tasted fresh and all that kind of stuff. And there was enough, even though in the beginning I was like, I don't think this is going to make enough sauce. There was plenty. But I just, like, I would eat it again. I'm not saying I wouldn't. But it takes me an hour. Guys, it takes me an hour to get this cheese open. How embarrassing. I was like, David, come help me. And then I was like, psych, I got it. And then I start doing this and you right there. I was like, oh my God, you grated my finger. And I still have a little scratch on it, but that's okay. Also, it takes forever to grate tiny little blocks of cheese. Like, come on. It's good because it's fresh, but your girl is fine just using some Kraft shaker cheese. And obviously there was a little nub at the end, and I'm not grating that because I'm not tearing my hand up, so I just ate it. Come at me, bro. Whatever. I'm just kidding. So what are we doing? Oh, sauteing the garlic in a smidge of oil. Getting our parsley all chopped. Gotta remember to breathe during this. I tend to hold my breaths when I do voiceovers. So, you know, that's okay. Chop. So much chopping. Again, this meal though only took about 20 minutes or so. So I'm just adding my tomatoes now to my garlic and oil. Yep, there you go. You saw it. Just stirring that, getting that all nice and warm through. Cooking my stepson's ravioli here. See, I added some salt to the tomatoes and the sauce. Should have probably waited on that. But I'm adding his ravioli now, and I will confess I had about like 4 or 5 of his ravioli. I didn't need it, but like, guys, it's so good. Come on. Right? Okay, you ready?
Oh.
I already showed them. So, Fred, what are you thinking?
I'm thinking why did you put olives on
they were
mine?
cooked. It was cooked in the sauce.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan of this sauce. I can already...
I like it.
The ravioli is good. What do you think of the portion?
I think it's what I probably should eat.
Yeah, right. Okay.
It's actually not.
It's good.
Again, it's not as small as we thought when we got it opened
Yeah,
up.
yeah. It's salty.
It is very salty, but like not like, oh my god.
It's supposed to be like that because of the olives and the cheese and stuff. So yeah, not bad, right? Not bad. I'd only give it 1 thumb up. Yesterday I gave it 2 thumbs up.
As Kira would say.
Alright guys, the last and final meal of our dinnerly box is pork schnitzel with a cucumber salad. Very minimal ingredients again. So we obviously have our piece of pork. We have an onion. We only need like a tablespoon of this though. So panko breadcrumbs to coat the pork. And then there is a cucumber salad. The cucumber that they sent us, it could have been user error because we accidentally left the box outside, but we have an extra cucumber here. The one that they sent us, by the time we got to it, it was like moldy. So we do have an extra cucumber that we're just going to use on our own. A little packet of Grey Poupon and some sour cream for the cucumbers. No, it's a sour cream mustard sauce for the pork schnitzel. I do feel kind of bad because David doesn't like it's a cucumber salad with like a vinegar based dressing, and so David doesn't like that, so he's just gonna eat some plain cucumbers. And then the sauce for the pork has mustard in it and sour cream, so he's probably not gonna eat that or like that either. The things that we need just at home are sugar, oil, salt and pepper, apple cider vinegar, flour, and an egg. So I'm gonna get that going right now. And if you see me cooking ravioli, my stepson's eating ravioli again for dinner, so that's not a part of this recipe. So let's do it and we will taste it when it's done. All right, so like I said, I kind of felt bad for David because literally the only thing he ate for this meal was his pork and just plain like salted and peppered cucumbers. I will say when we did get this box and open it, we were like, oh my gosh, this isn't enough food for either of us. Like we eat a lot of food, right? We lift and all that kind of stuff. And we were surprised at how much food this did actually give us. So that's pretty cool. You can see I just cut his cucumbers up and put them on a plate, and I scooped the seeds out of mine, and I'm just cutting some onion up to put with mine here. I also lost some footage with this video, and I don't know, whatever. And I obviously my camera angle was bad and you can't see what oh, there we go. Smart move, Christy, I noticed. So literally just a little bit of salt, pepper, onion, vinegar, cucumber in the bowl, stirring that around before we do anything, just to kind of break them down. A tiny bit of sugar in there. It's good. This is your basic, like, grandma makes this, then your mom made it, and it's just like so simple, but so good, right? Cucumber salad is great. So you see me opening up the pork here, getting it ready. This pork was weird. Trust me, I know how to like butterfly meat, but for some reason, I don't know if it's because it was so small and I was worried about cutting myself. It was just harder to butterfly for some reason. I don't know, whatever. And then I got out a pan because we don't have a meat mallet. So I just got out a pan and made it as flat as I possibly could. Seasoning, wash of the hands of all that raw meat, right? Cleaning up my area, cleaning as I go. Getting my egg out to bread the pork. Whisk, whisk, whisk. Simple, basic kind of stuff. Flavoring that as we go also. Guys, flavor your food, right? And then adding the breadcrumbs on the other side to that. I exploded the breadcrumbs literally everywhere. They got all over the counter, behind like the knives you see there. It was a disaster. So right here, again, sorry you can't see it that well. I'm literally just patting the pork, sprinkling it with some flour, just kind of, you know, patting it in there, making sure everything's coated and covered so that the egg and the breadcrumbs stick a little better. Washing my hands again, of course, not contaminating anything. Don't come at me. Oil in the pan to heat up to kind of, oh yeah, There you go. That's the real gift of this video. But the oil is heating up because it's like a shallow fry for this. And what am I looking for? I don't even know. I'm just like scooting around the kitchen and then apparently I just disappear and tap out for some reason. What am I even doing? Oh, I'm waiting for I think I'm waiting honestly for the oil to heat up. So I just started doing, putting dishes away and started doing some dishes and stuff like that. So here we go. Egg mixture, let it drip. Patting in all of the breadcrumbs. I will admit I don't do a lot of frying just because I think it's a pain in the butt. But again, this was pretty straightforward, easy cleanup. They send you enough ingredients so you know you're not like really wasting anything, which is super convenient. So I would totally do this again. But again, like I said, with the boxes, I never think of like just doing it on my own. So it's kind of cool. I think our next box is coming with like curry and some kind of curry soup and like things I just wouldn't make. So that's kind of convenient. Things I like, but just would never think of making. So that's a perk to these dinner boxes, I would say. And I'm literally just tapped out of this video because now I am cleaning. Like I had the pork on the cutting board and blah, 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 blah. So you can tell I'm literally just cleaning. Story of my life. That's all I do. That's why Mama needed some wine. No, I'm just kidding. David and I, right before this, did a wine and chill on Instagram. I was all soaked up, so I called him to come in too. You'll see him in 1 second. No, psych. I lied. That's not when he does it. He'll come back. Don't worry, though. Everybody likes David. Everyone's always like, show more of your husband. Bring your husband on more of your videos. We love him so much. And I'm like, don't get too excited. There he is. Flipping the pork like a champion. Look at, I don't know if you could tell, but it's nice and golden in there. It like turned out perfectly. Yeah, so still just scooting around, straightening up, getting the stepson's ravioli going. Right there. We're a ravioli fan. Like, love ravioli. It's so easy to do and deal with and all that kind of stuff. Perfect. Then I realized my camera cut out again, and then I realized it started again. So this sauce, literally, sour cream, Dijon, salt, pepper, mix it up. I literally ate it with a spoon. It was so delicious, and I ate the whole thing myself. Do you want to show them your plate? Because it's all together. That's how it turned out really good. Yep. I have the mustard sour cream sauce on the side. You can't really. Come back. Love you. Mm-hmm. I spilled it everywhere. On the side, whatever. Taste the pork. Let me know what you think. Good, right? Mm-hmm. Let me taste the cucumber salad. If you just have plain cucumbers, it doesn't count. Mine's the one with like the vinegar and the onions and.
Yeah.
Not bad. I think it goes good together, like on it, because the cucumbers like kind of cleanse the palate, if you will, of the fried pork. I think it's good. Again, I think more than what we thought.
Easier to make than you thought.
Yeah. So done in less than a half an hour.
Yeah.
Give or take. Pretty good. Not too shabby. Like it. I'm gonna clean up all the sour cream that I spilled too.